Power outages. Wow, how sexy. Hey, they can range from minor inconveniences, a few minutes to a few hours, all the way up to life-threatening situations where the electricity could be out for days, weeks, months. And it always happens at the worst possible time. Unless we experience the big EMP pop, the outage we're going to worry about probably isn't going to happen when it's sunny and 70. It's most likely going to happen during a severe storm, tornadoes, sub-freezing temperatures, or monster heat waves. So let's talk about it this time on K6UDA Radio. Let's do this. So, you know, when the power first goes out, the first thing I want to do, I want to come out here, flip the switch, and turn the lights on, baby. That's what I want to do. Now, because I subscribe to the theory of 2 is 1 and 1 is none, I keep myself a backup generator here. This is a little Honda that I've had for probably 20, 25 years. It's not the greatest. It won't run the whole house, but it sure will help. And this 12K runs off a dual fuel, so either gas or propane. When you're using a generator, you've got to figure out what's most important. The refrigerator, the freezer, water pumps, medical devices, the lights, the internet, the TV. You are in charge. Something that I'm about to do fairly soon is install a transfer switch here. A transfer switch enables me to bring the generator up here to the main garage, plug it in, and I'll have another panel somewhere around here. I take the circuits that I absolutely think I need, the important circuit, put them on the transfer switch. Then when the power goes out, flip the transfer switch, and I can go ahead and power up important things like the refrigerator, the freezer, the well pump, and I don't have extension cords draped all over the place. It's super clean, super easy, and it'll work great with that 12,000 watt generator. Hey guys, if you like this video, please, big thumbs up for it. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. Share the video because I think it's kind of important. And most importantly, leave a comment, even if it's only to say hi. It helps the algorithm, and it forces YouTube to put this in the recommended section of like-minded people. Also, if you want to support this kind of content, please consider becoming a member of the K6UDA show. And now, back to the show. Now, I've always got the ability to go stay in the motorhome if something bad happens, if the power goes out. I know everything works in there. That is a self-contained home on wheels. Now, as comfortable as the motorhome would be if there was a power emergency, if something happened, we would be just fine in here. But the idea is that we don't want to leave our house. We don't want to leave our home. We've got animals. We have things to take care of here. And because we do, we need to learn to stay in the house. Now, this isn't my first rodeo with a major power outage. Back in 2019, when I lived in the People's Republic of California, we're supposed to be here for another 2 nights, but PG&E came along and said, ooh, there's a huge weather emergency and we're going to shut the power off. That's exactly what they did. Normally I'd say, yeah, we're not home, but we've got 2 freezers full of food and the refrigerator, and we don't want it all to spoil and stink up the house. So we're heading back this morning. My wife also runs a grocery store that is out of power, so she's got to get back to work now. Power was out at my place for 4 days. I was the only person left in my neighborhood. Everybody else left, went and stayed with family, went and stayed at hotels. We were at home because we were halfway prepared. All right, so let's talk about a few ways that you could make your own power, become a little bit more energy independent. You could put solar on your house. I had solar on the house in California. PG&E, the power company, the major power company in California, back when I did my solar system, they had such a racket going on, and they wouldn't let you eliminate your bill. Oh, no, 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 no. They wanted to keep you on the hook, and they wanted to keep you paying them forever and ever and ever. PG&E would have all these programs. They would let you put up to 2/3 of your bill, take away 2/3 of your bill. And if you wanted to go off grid, no, can't do that out in California, or you couldn't do that at the time. I guess now they've probably changed it, but you probably still can't eliminate your entire bill. So what's that mean in a power outage? That means you're grid tied and you need power to run the solar system. So when the power goes out, the solar system goes down, you can't generate power. And because you don't have a battery backup system, you can't use stored power to run your house. Makes sense? Doesn't make sense to me either. I've resisted the urge to go solar out here. One of the main reasons, well, 2 main reasons, it's about $100 grand. Number 2, the noise level. I'm afraid of adding noise in a place where I have literally S0 noise level, S1, S2 noise level, both here in Studio A and in Studio B. It's amazing. I love it, and I don't want to change that. At least out here, if I decide to go solar, I can eliminate my entire bill if I want, and I can add a battery system and run completely off grid. Which brings me to my next alternative power source. And that, my friends, is what brings me out into the bright sunlight. More solar power, but this time it's portable. Now this is a solar generator that I picked up years ago at Costco. What I do like about this, totally self-contained. And as soon as you do that, you are storing power. Next up is my newest acquisition. This is the Blue Eddy AC 180. This is an 1800 watt battery pack, solar generator, whatever you want to call it. These things are actually just a battery. And what makes them a solar generator is the solar panels. And for portable ham radio operations, I have a set of some very small lithium batteries from Bioenno batteries. They come along with various size solar panels and a charger. Now here in Studio B, I've got an advantage. All the radios in here, plus the radios in Studio A, run natively on DC, which is basically 12 volt batteries. The K6UDA repeater here is running in on AC mode, but if I turn that off, but you'll notice the DC light is on, the power is still on. So I shut the power supply off, which killed the power, the AC power to the repeater. Because I've got a 12 volt battery sitting here. I've got this Power Queen 100 amp hour lithium battery sitting in here. And it's hooked up to the DC inputs on the repeater. This thing should run for at least a couple of days in this mode. And in case you're wondering what the significance of that battery backup is for the repeater system, let me take you back to 2019 and the great PG&E power outage.
Which is about 2 miles south of Placerville. The gas stations were open, they were pumping gas. That's where I took all my gas cans this morning and filled everything up, and they've got some supplies and headed back over here. But yeah, we've been out all day, and it looks like we're going to be out for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to go stockpile some more gasoline tomorrow and just kind of get prepped. It may be a few days. They're saying that once they decide to turn things back on, they have to inspect all the high voltage transmission lines.
Do you know what you would do in an extended power outage? Do you know how you're going to power the critical things in your house? How you're going to take care of maybe medical devices, your refrigerator, your animals? Well, I'm kind of trying to develop a training exercise I just simply call flipping the switch. For a day, maybe 2 or 3, Mrs. K6UDA and I are going to flip the mains, turn everything off, and we're going to run like we would have to run in an emergency. Most likely we're going to do this on a nice sunny spring day where it's not too cold, it's not too hot. We've got a lot of logistics to work out before we do this. After all, this is a training exercise, not a real emergency. This is purely to evaluate our power preps. Can we keep the well pump going when we need it to? Do we have enough water or a way to water the horses we have, the livestock that we have? Can we keep the food in our refrigerator from spoiling in 3 days? Do we really know what we're getting ourselves into? I mean, we're planning for, I don't know how long, a day, 2 days, 3 days. We need to make sure we've got a plan to run our mission critical equipment, the refrigerator, the freezer. And then finally, we get to debrief this whole thing. What worked? What didn't? Is there anything that you would do differently? Is there any supplies or equipment you now see as super important that maybe you dismissed before? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I hope this kind of opened your eyes a little bit. Maybe you're thinking, maybe I could do a flip the switch training. Who knows? Maybe a whole bunch of us can do a flip the switch training at the same time, and hopefully we can keep things on the air and maybe make some contacts off grid, totally off grid. I think that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, guys, like the video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment, share the video, and if you want to support the channel, please consider doing a membership. They're cheap and they really do help. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for this time. I'm Bob, K6UDA. I'm out of here. 7-3.